Welcome to this game of Mechabellum. As you can see here, I'm fighting against B, and I don't know how to pronounce the rest. And my options here, Giant Spec, Missile, Supply, and Typhoon. And I didn't like the other ones, but sometimes since I played Giants, so I went for the Giant Spec. And it's not a bad start with Sabertooths and Arclights. Even if for Giants they usually don't go aggro, so I'm not going aggro. Going to go standard on this game, even if Sabertooths are not the best at standard. Unless you get the improved Sabertooth card, which you can't get if you already have Sabertooths on the field, so no chance of getting it if you are using them. But improved Sabertooth is a really good card. You see here, my opponent also got a standard units build with sledges and marksmen. Although I have already played on aggro with this setup, but usually when I want to go for assault marksman, and he doesn't even have the card assault marksman. You see me starting to position my units in here, selling one turret already, even if it could be useful with him. Since we are both, I'm even more in the back than he is, so my towers can be useful. But this one, it was in the middle, it could. It was more safe that it would be used than the other one, so that's why I sold the other. And I was expecting to start selling units later to get my giants going. I didn't plan to stay with the Sabertooths for much longer, especially since they are not the best against sledges. Here you see the tower wasting ammunition on a sledge, but my Arclights managed to kill all the chaff. And after all the buffs, they survived 3 shots from a marksman. But it's a loss for me. Just killing one by one my fangs. And here we go for round 2, with instant unit deployments, with a few options here. We have level 2 hound, which is not bad, although you are getting less for it. It's 150 when you get 200 with a Mustang or a ball or a 5 badger, so this one is the one that gives you less money. And since I'm not going aggro, hounds are not the best at standard fighting, but Mustangs are great. You can position them all the way to the back and they will be useful. At DPSing sledges if he doesn't go for armor, DPSing everything else. Mustangs are really good at DPSing everything if they don't go for armor or it's not a very high health unit. And they can kill chaff, even if slower than dedicated chaff units. You see me grabbing another one and selling my turret since it's kinda useless shooting at sledges in here. My opponent's going for storms, which is a very common unit you'll see in fights when both players go standard. It's a very long range unit, and it's also great by the fact that I only had fangs as chaff, and storms are great against fangs. But I'm starting to grab some crawlers. But I did grab more fangs. And you see one mistake that I'm doing here. You see that I'm leaving 3 spaces from the tower. I should be leaving 4. With 4 you can get a giant in front of the tower. With 3 you can't. So that was one mistake from me. See the balls he got with the deployment, they are still here. But At least on the left side I'm still winning. And then you can see the storms didn't do that much damage. So they did help kill the shaft in the fence. And now they are doing some damage. You can see they're healing my Sabertooth during the debuff. Let's speed this. And don't know if they grabbed the kill there, but they even got a level. So they got some kills at the end. Here we have Improved Factory, which is a good card, but the factory is already expensive. And this makes them really expensive. At 1000 per factory. It does increase the range and reduce the attack interval, so it's good, but it's for very late game. I'm going for the buyer since I am Giant Spec, and it's a very good card. 6000 HP for the shield, and I can grab a Giant for free. And since I don't have many shaft clear units and didn't invest on arc lights, a Vulcan is a good answer. But you notice here, I intended to put it in front of the tower, but I needed to put the fangs one square forward to do that. So they will stay by the side. It's the best I can do here. I could put it on the other side, but decided to put it here. Oh, the shaft. My opponent's not but putting any shaft in the middle. You see he going for storms on the other side too. And he didn't level this one. I'm grabbing more shaft. See that I put a few crawlers in the back here, and they will arrive to block the boss. And they will even be able to do some damage to the boss. You saw that the shield helped my unit a lot. My opponent also grabbed the shield, but he don't have a giant to use it yet. Now it's a slow walk to the other side. Thanks to Toast. And my Vulcan survived, but even with all that he killed, he's still a bit away from leveling. Here, another great item for a Vulcan. So I'm going for Laser Sight. Incendiary Bomb is also good, and also is Ion Beam and Underground Threat, so only good cards here. But a bit soon for Ion Blast. It's a very expensive card. And I don't have that many crawlers for him to Incendiary Bomb to be that good, and I already have a shield in here. You see me grabbing a second Vulcan on the other side, and Laser Sight on it. For some extra range. See that my Sabertooths ended up leveling, but I'm not grabbing levels yet. You see my opponent went for the Ion Blast, which is bad for me, but bad for his economy too. It is a very powerful spell. And you will see me putting some distraction for the Stormcallers. Grab the Crawlers and make them move on the front here to distract the storms that he just leveled now. He also got his Rhino from the Unit Specialist. He will put this on this side. Which was a mistake in my opinion. He should have put it here to reinforce the side that he was using the blast. So he could have hit my tower fast. You see here that it was a very good beam. Killed the shield while walking, then killed my Vulcan. Perfect time to kill my Vulcan. The Sabertooth and some shaft in here. So not much left on this side. And here, thanks to the Sabertooth, I'm able to kill the Rhino. Which is what I said, on this side I would have nothing to kill it. But with the defeat on this side and the more storms he grabbed, he has enough DPS to kill my Vulcan on this side quite easily. And I take a lot of damage from this round. But I am 200 money on the advantage now. Here we'll see some units, and none of them is really good for me. But you see me going for the Farseer, I think, because I didn't have any anti-air that was useful against heavy anti-air. I do have my Mustangs, but if my opponent grab Rays and put armor on them, the Mustangs are kinda useless. And you will see me just grabbing now Missile Interceptor on my Mustangs, seeing that my opponent really went for heavy investment on storms, 4 storms here, and they are grabbing levels because they are doing a lot of damage. I'm still using the Chaffin here moving in front because my Mustangs will take some time to arrive on the front line. I sold one of the Farseers and left 1. Leveled the Sabertooth on this side because of the Rhino. Didn't know if he would sell or not, but just to be safe, I put a level on the Sabertooth here. And you will see me grabbing a lot of Mustangs. Now I have 4 Mustangs with Missile Interceptor, and he has 4 Stormcallers. He will finally get a Vulcan too and put the item, so it has a barrier. Another good thing that I grabbed the level 2 on the Sabertooth here, because you can see that I lack DPS. I may have Shaft Clear with the Vulcans, but that have range now. But the DPS here is lacking. It's only the Sabertooth and the Mustangs that do some DPS, but now I already have the Farseer too. Can also help a little, even if it's not the best DPS for the cost. See a Saber turn, 1 shot almost killed, and it's dead. And you can see the anti-missiles working very well against the opponent, nullifying his missiles. My Vulcans can survive much longer. Even the shield here, you see, it's taking a very long time to try to destroy the shield, thanks to the missile interceptors, because most of the DPS of my opponent are the storms. On this side, he ended up winning. I win on the right, but the buff for me, thankfully, the buff don't stop my missile interceptors. Now it's my time for the debuff. And the war against the missiles. And now it's just for my Vulcan to finish off all the storms. So I must say that the missile interceptors paid off in this fight. We have more spells here, even Vulcan Descent, which since I'm investing in Vulcan could be good, but Orbital Javelin is just too good to pass in this situation. When I have such a juicy target in here, his Vulcan with item, but I also have one target for him in here. So we both have great targets for the spell. But the thing is, my opponent, I think he won't go for the spell. Oh no, he will go for the spell. But he will put on this side to kill this Vulcan. But I sold my Sabertooth and Mountains. I need DPS and I'm a giant spec. So of course I will go Mountains. And if you watched a lot of my videos, you know that I'm busy to going Mountain if I have the chance. I really like to look them destroying things. who can say no to a even bigger fortress? But unlocking it, even with giant spec, is 150, and putting it here, I don't have a lot of money left. And the orbital javelin, unfortunately, will hit my mountain. And half of the HP of the mountain. But he lost his shaft clear on this side. And I even put some shaft in here to drag his units. So I'm on offensive here. Now I have DPS to kill his units. Turn and obliterate. Look at this. Completely destroyed the Rhino. But it doesn't have a lot of range yet. But that's a problem to save on a later round. But thanks for the Javelin here and the mountain. Good round for me. And a lot of damage on this round. Here we have even more spells and one item. But I wasn't using my Mustangs as DPS, so this item is kinda not that great. Also, both my Vulcans already have items. It is not a bad item for a Vulcan, but don't want a third Vulcan, I don't need it. He doesn't have enough shaft to justify it. But more mountains and range for the mountains is great. So now I have DPSs on both sides. My opponent went for the incendiary bomb. Throwing here in the middle, which is bad. Bad for my Mustangs. And I don't remember if I will remember to shield. I think I won't shield. Or if I should, I will shield here. Just here, and the middle will be open to fire. I was thinking what I'm going to do with the rest of the money. Because I can't get another mountain, and I can't get another attack for the mountain. What they have left. And grabbing armor, extra range, and that's half my money. And increased speed, and no shields. So that's a mistake from me. I should have shielded. Instead of extra range, one shield here. Instead of armor, one shield here. And I would be completely safe from the fire in here. But I'm not, and a lot of units will pay the price for it. You see my Mustangs burning. A lot of my Mustangs burning. But my mountains are doing great. With the extra range. But without the Mustangs, he has his storms doing some damage. But mountains are very tanky. And he's not using the tech to do more damage. He doesn't even have it. I do. The one that increases the damage by 100%. So both my mountains survive. And he's almost dead. So even with the fire, my mountains managed to win. Here we have another unity drop. And looking at this, I didn't want any of those. And you see me just grabbing Sabertooth, it's the one that's worth more, and selling it. And more mountains! See me putting another mountain in here, since this one's the side with the Rhino. He was getting really close to my units. And I am also grabbing the second attack, Gun Launch Missile, which is great at destroying sledges, chaff, everything. The missile does a lot of damage. It's 22,000 damage. If you compare, it has 4k HP on sledge. You see me every turn doing the same thing with the crawlers here, just to distract his storms, but he starts selling in the storms a bit late, I must say. He start selling, but they are kinda useless with the Mustangs using this interceptor. You see me putting chaff in here too, to distract these units on the side too, so my units can get closer to his big units faster and kill them. His beam is back, but I don't think the beam has enough damage to kill a mountain. And even my Vulcan here is level 2, so the beam can't heal too. This one is also level 2. But here is something that can be very devastating against me. Acid. Scorpions with acid. The acid will increase the damage my mountains take. You can see here, this one stepped on the acid right at the start, there's nothing in front here. It was instant targeted and it died really fast thanks to that. This side things went a bit better, but you see it here, step into the acid, it takes damage per second and more damage from each shot on it. So this round will not go so good for me. Here I have the tower debuff, so it's not taking a lot of damage, but now situations are inverted. He has the tower debuff and destroyed. And I take quite some damage. Now I have to fix this problem. You see here, the only useful thing for me is advanced power system or money. The other one's not that great in my situation. Even if mass-produced Wraith is a very good card, but I already have the Vulcans to solve the shaft clear problem. So I'll just go for advanced power system to increase the speed of my units. Since he's using Siege Scorpion, so now he has the advantage on range. You see this Vulcan, he got at the 3rd level. And I'm going for more mountains. Even if he has a counter now. I just need to put units in front. You see that I put a crawler here, so this one won't get insta targeted by the Scorpion. So I'm just solving my problem with Shah. He's going for double shot, so his Scorpions are even more deadly. And you see me grabbing one Hound, which I was putting here to start working toward, if I didn't win this round, I could use the Hounds to clear the acid. Also see me putting some shields to protect my shaft, which is great because my opponent used missiles and my Mustangs are a bit too much to the back to intercept them. Here my strategy kind of worked and not, because it ended up getting targeted again anyway. But on the right side things are going much better. This one they went better on this one too. But on the right it's much better with one extra mountain and tower debuff. That Scorpion, and that's it for the game. Lot of damage in the last round. But hope you all enjoyed this mountain game. Some time since I played the mountain game. And I will ask it for anyone who can to subscribe. It really helps the channel. And I will see you on the next one.